Let's get some broader analysis and bring in with no hesitation Ian Reifowitz, Professor of History at the State University of New York. Ian, thank you for being with us. In your view, is this Tucker Carlson carrying the can for the Dominion case?
I mean, if we want to engage in some perhaps irresponsible speculation, look, I don't think there's any question that this is the other shoe dropping after the Dominion settlement. I think to some degree it became untenable to have Tucker Carlson on Fox once the suit was settled, after the information had come out where you had him in group chats and in texts and emails talking about the fact that he hated Trump passionately and insulting Trump in any number of other instances. It's not credible for him to be on the network then talking about Trump in a way that Fox viewers want to hear. And that's really what it comes down to, is all of this reveals that Fox News delivers what its viewers want to hear. Carlson couldn't do that for them anymore. They had to wait for the settlement to have, to be signed before they would fire him. But once it was done, he was done as well.
Is this going to dent in any way Trumpism? It sounds like it's not, given what you just said. And I'm wondering about Carlson. Is he set to turn up in some other kind of MAGA mouthpiece? Perhaps not.
Right. I mean, look, based on what I've written and said, I think you know that I would like to see Trumpism diminished. And perhaps as much as you can say that Fox News would be diminished by this, I think you also have to look at the reality of the other side of it, which is that in 2017, Bill O'Reilly was let go after he had his own sexual harassment scandal. Tucker Carlson was essentially a washed-up guy who had bounced around from a number of different networks. The last person anybody would have said, aha, this is going to be the new star. Given the Fox platform, he became a star. I don't see any reason why another Fox News show with somebody else's name on it couldn't be just as popular. To me, the real question is, will that new person, although they're certainly going to go 100% for whatever Murdoch and the network decides is necessary in terms of supporting Trump or any other Republican, to me the question is, would that new person be as extreme on white nationalism and racism as Carlson is? That's not something that we could know until that new person comes on. And if that person is less racist and less white nationalist and talks less about great replacement theory, I would say that that's an improvement for the American media climate.
Indeed, many people watching this, I'd like to say to them that journalism is actually about going right down the middle and getting things correct and making sure that you actually state the facts and check those facts. What we're talking about here, I think, is removed from journalism, isn't it? This kind of populist, polemicist approach to presenting, in inverted commas, the news.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, look at what we saw out of the mouths, or the fingers, if you want to say that, of Hannity, Ingram, and Carlson, and even some from, I believe, that some of the other Fox executives. What they basically said was, we're not respecting the audience if we tell them the truth. We're not respecting the Fox audience if we tell them the truth. In order to respect the Fox audience, we have to tell them what they want to hear. And I like the way you talk about an inversion. That's an inversion of what journalism is supposed to be. Journalism is telling the truth, not telling the audience or finding out what the audience wants and then delivering it to them. I don't know what you exactly would call that. It's, polemics is one way of looking at it. But it's definitely not journalism, and it's definitely not delivering the news.
Old school propaganda. I think that's probably a way to put it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Pravda. It's state propaganda, but just for one political party essentially in a two-party system. And it's not the same on both sides. Is there a left-wing media? No, there's not a left-wing media. There is a journalistic media whose individuals perhaps lean left. You've got on MSNBC, you've got opinion hosts, but those opinion hosts don't make stuff up. They don't know what is true on the one hand and then say the opposite on the other hand. They might come at things shaded from a particular direction, but that's very, very different from what went on at Fox, as those private tweets and private group chats revealed.
Going back to my days as a junior journalist, the word defamation was something everybody was very scared of. Do you feel it would be a career wrecker if you were convicted of defamation, if you even went to court and were hauled over the coals by a judge over a defamatory statement? This will end Carlson's career, do you think? He will rebound somewhere else?
No, it won't end his career. Alex Jones still has a podcast or whatever it is that he does and has millions of not millions. He has plenty of listeners. He can still hawk his, strength cream or whatever it is stuff that he hawks to his viewers. So no, it depends on what you define as a career. But Carlson never. Carlson hasn't been a journalist for a very, very long time. He has a career as an entertainer. And that career is not blemished in any way I would think, by a defamation lawsuit. An entertainer continues to entertain.
Indeed. I wonder about the title of the channel, Fox News. It's an interesting conundrum, isn't it? Ian, as ever, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your analysis. Always appreciated. I was hoping to ask you about Don Lemon leaving CNN. Different circumstances, not at all linked, but we're out of time. Thank you so very much indeed. Ian Reifowitz there from the State University of New York.